Your thoughts on playing San Francisco? They beat Virginia and they Wally pipped Nevada pretty hard, and it seems like they're a pretty tough team.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Adding these guys, very good offensive team, very experienced. It'll be a big challenge. You mentioned the Virginia win, which would be a great win for anybody. So no, they're a very experienced team, very good team. It will really challenge us to play better than what we've been playing. I thought we played very hard, very well against Seton Hall, and since then I think it's been sporadic. We've had some very good moments, but we've had a lot of moments where we just haven't been as consistent as I want. And when we had the opportunity to play San Francisco, I just said we need to challenge our guys and challenge our defense, and these guys will definitely do it. It'll be a very difficult game for us. It's a very tough matchup against a very experienced team. Their guards are very good, and we're going to have to play really well. Cal played really well against them, especially defensively in the second half. So we're going to have to play really well.
Okay, we'll go to Chris Hansen next.
Yeah, Dana, after the Washington game, you talked about wanting to get more games, wanting to get more practices. Do you think you kind of struck the right balance here with adding these 2 more games before the UCLA game?
Oh, Chris, I hope so. It's not an exact science, but we had 2 good days of practice. We practiced hard Monday. The guys really got after it. Yesterday wasn't quite as good, but we did practice. Went a couple 2-a-days, So I hope it helps us. If I had the answer to that, I'd be a lot more successful. But I think we got the right blend. Again, both teams will challenge us this weekend with San Francisco and Portland. They're both good offensive teams. Portland 5-1, and San Francisco's won big games against Virginia. So they'll be ready to go. We're going to have to be ready to go. We've got to make some progress, Chris. I was pleased with the Seton Hall game, but last week I just didn't think we made any strides, and so it's a big week for us trying to get ready for UCLA.
Coach, I think I muted you there. It was my fault. Sorry about that. James, we'll go to you next.
Dana, were these guys on the radar in the offseason anyway, just because of regionally? And Todd really had them going pretty good last year, too. How much did you know about him and them even last year? Because they're kind of Auburn West. I mean, Todd coached under Bruce for a year, and Mamadou's on the staff, and Todd's a big-time analytics guy. Just how much did you know about them even this offseason and consider them this offseason for scheduling?
Not really any. I think I did see him play once last year, part of a game, but we hadn't talked to him. I don't think we talked to him until they canceled against USC, or the USC game got canceled, which I think was supposed to be tonight or last night, one of the nights. They were supposed to play USC, and we just got them because they couldn't play USC. And so Josh and the rest of our staff been on the phone nonstop, the last few weeks trying to find games. But I think this one, James, just came up because they got canceled against USC, and we both needed a game. And like I said, it's a tough game. Wish somebody else would have came available. So.
All right, let's go back to Matt.
Dana, in a normal year this time around, guys can be in the gym all they want because there's no school. Is that still the case? And I know you've talked about the importance of this stretch of a normal year, and because there's no school to worry about and guys can be in the gym and just work. But is that possible right now?
Yeah, Yeah, no, we had a couple workouts last couple mornings. I saw this morning we had a few guys in shooting around, and so yeah, I think guys are going to spend a little more time here with the availability of the time and no school work. A number of our guys will be heading home after the game on the 23rd. And so it'll be interesting to see how the next 2 weeks, how we get through it, and hopefully they'll be safe at home, and we'll be able to get back and keep everybody on the floor and keep them healthy.
Chris, go ahead, Chris.
Got it. Thank you. You've talked a couple times about wanting to see improvement this week in practice, and you didn't see enough improvement last week during your games. What are you specifically looking for? I mean, are there things that you can pinpoint, or is it just an overall improvement?
Oh no, Chris. We're not communicating. We're not connected on the defensive end at all. We made a lot of mistakes in the second half against Washington. Eastern Washington, a lot of mistakes in the second half. We're not communicating on the defensive end. So that would be, the first thing. At times we've been a very good rebounding team. And at other times, we haven't gone to the boards on a consistent basis. So, those two things will keep us in games. And then offensively, our guards have got to do a better job of getting us in things. We've got to execute so much better to get the shots that we want. Our turnovers have not, although the number's not great, they've come at bad times. So we've got to do a better job of handling the ball. And that's on everybody. That's not just our guards. That's everybody, So those three areas, really getting connected defensively, and a lot more talk, and we got to cut down the defensive mistakes that are giving up a lot of open looks, consistent effort on the boards, which at times has been really good, Chris. But, for us to be a really good team, I think that's one advantage with our athleticism and, having 6'6" wings, with Eric and Chris and LJ, we should be a very good rebounding team. And then lastly, offensive execution takes longer. Just because we got a lot of guys who haven't played together, and then Will Richardson, who understands our offense, thoroughly, isn't playing. And so now Amari and Jalen, have to shoulder all that. And, they're not quite as familiar with what we want to do as Will would be. And so that has taken some time here, Chris, and we just haven't done a good job I haven't done a good job of just getting guys to execute and get in the right spots and put more pressure on themselves to execute. And so we've worked on that, and we'll continue to work on that today to try to get ready for tomorrow. And I think our guys understand how difficult, tomorrow is. The Virginia game got their attention, and so we're going to have to play our tails off.
Matt Preem.
Is Frank available to play this week at all? And I guess how's Will's transition been with his rehab?
No, Frank. We're still going through everything with Frank. So, and Will's been fine. Will's going to go home and spend some time with his family over Christmas, and there's no sense, in having him. That means just nothing to do now that school's over, and obviously can't shoot. He's been working with Evan, but he can do all that stuff back in Georgia. So Will's going to head home for 10 days a week, couple weeks here, and just spend some time with his family. Injuries are by far the big downside of any sport. You play a sport that you love and have a passion for, and injuries just take all the fun out of it. So I just wanted him to get away and spend some time with his family, and there's no reason not to at this particular time.
Go ahead, James.
Then it might even be getting voted on right now, but D1 Council and the waivers deal for Aaron. Where has he been at in terms of practice? Like, I mean, how much was he even doing with the top rotation? And how fast can he join the rotation? Can he play for you tomorrow night? If it gets voted through today, do you plan to play him tomorrow?
Well, we'll see. He hasn't, we haven't played him with the top unit. With our limited numbers, he's, with the scout team some, he's with, our second unit some. So, he's familiar with everything we're doing. Aaron picks up things pretty quickly, and, he's got, a nice pace about him. He doesn't go fast. He doesn't turn it over, and I like that about him. He's done really well with his assist to turnover ratio in practice. So, no, he'd be ready to go. I think he understands everything we're going to do and want to do. And, he's been diligent. He was one of those guys down there shooting this morning. So I think he's kind of excited about the possibility. So we'll just have to wait and see what the vote is, James. But no doubt he would be, someone that we would have no hesitation, James, in throwing him in tomorrow. None.
Okay, any more questions for Coach? I think we're good for today. Thanks, Coach.
All righty, guys. Thanks.